What's up, guys, and welcome to another EBFG TV matchday review slash preview. Brian, first off, the Sounders had a 1-1 draw in Houston on Wednesday. What are your thoughts after that match?
It was real sloppy. I'm not gonna lie. Not the most entertaining game to watch. Well, I guess it was entertaining. It was not pretty though. We were just kind of all over the place from minute one, which we kind of expected. We touched on that in the match preview slash review from last week. But yeah, it was just kind of sloppy. It was difficult to watch. We ended up getting the result, which is really all I cared about in the end. We both went with a draw, I think, in our match predictions. So, about what I expected. But man, that was it was definitely a few steps back from where we were the last few weeks.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty at all. We feel the kind of a B team lineup, even though we still had a few of the regulars in that starting 11. Yeah, it wasn't a super fun game to be at, to be completely honest. It was very hot, very humid. You can kind of use the conditions as a little bit of an excuse for our boys because they just don't play in that kind of humidity all the time. But yeah, it was just super sloppy, super gross match. Their goal was sloppy on our part, kind of a missed clearance, a defensive mishap a little bit, and they just took a chance and scored. And then our goal was kind of the same on their part. Lodero was wide open in the 18 with literally like 5 seconds left in the game, and he slots it in back post, which I'm 100% happy with. So yeah, now that the game's over, I'm happy with a draw. Obviously, I said draw. I said I'd take a draw before the match. So yeah, it was a gross game. We got the point that we needed, so that's all that really matters in the end.
Yeah, exactly. Still undefeated under Schmetzer, which feels pretty great. I don't know if I want to give them the excuse of the humidity. We did go down to Orlando and their humidity and whoop them pretty bad.
That's true.
And Houston, they're not exactly doing the best this year, to put it nicely.
I mean, it would have felt real bad to lose to that team, especially towards the end. It looked like we were on the edge of dropping all 3 points, and it wouldn't have felt good to lose to a team that's that bad.
No.
They're just not good, and yeah, that would have been a really rough result and a really tough pill to swallow.
It would have been, but they seem to be our new Kansas City, as I was saying the other day.
Yeah.
That's got to just drive their fans insane that we've done that twice in one year, essentially. Those last second goals, the last touch of the game, both of them were basically.
A lot of people started leaving before we even scored the goal. There was a pretty big exodus from the stands in Houston, but as soon as we scored, they all just started leaving real quick because it was kind of a not again from a lot of their fans. It was the exact same thing that happened back there in April with Chad Marshall. It was just the last kick of the game. As soon as they kicked the ball off, the ref blew the whistle for full time. They got to feel pretty bad that twice this season at home they've dropped 2 points to us. But as I said, I'm perfectly fine with it.
Oh, I am too, and that's kind of been the story for them all year. They've allowed a lot of late goals that have cost them points.
Yeah,
and I feel for them a little bit, but at the same time I don't because it's Houston, so.
All right, well, let's get to the bread and butter of this video. Another huge match day preview. We have the Portland Timbers coming up on Sunday for the second week in a row. We're a point behind them in the playoff standings. There's still a chance, but no Clint Dempsey, as announced earlier. He's out with he's undergoing some tests for an irregular heartbeat. What do you expect on Sunday?
I think Dempsey aside, we're going to see pretty much the same level of intensity that we were seeing in the previous home game. Obviously, we were talking about what a huge game that was at that time. This game, every game it's essentially just going to keep getting bigger and bigger. But this one, especially just for bragging rights on the season, is huge. For the Cascadia Cup standings, it's huge. For the playoff standings, it's huge. It's huge all around, and I'm really excited for it. I'm driving down for the game. I know obviously you're not going to be able to make it, being a gajillion miles away. But no, I think we're going to see mostly the same lineup. Obviously someone will have to come in for Dempsey, probably Valdez, maybe Herc. Someone like that. I'd love to see Olex, actually. I know he hasn't been doing that well, but I'd love to see him come in, get some minutes, kind of just pace abuse them down the wings. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I'll definitely be there in spirit. It will be different without Dempsey. He's kind of a Portland killer. or has been in the last few games against them. He has a few multi-goal games against the Timbers, which is always fun. So yeah, it will kind of suck without him, but I definitely think we can rise for the challenge. I'm glad that we're not losing Lodero until Monday. That's apparently when he leaves to go join the Uruguayan national team for World Cup qualifiers. Yeah, as you said, each game from now on gets bigger and bigger in not only the Cascadia Cup, but in the playoff race. I think a win would tie us, for now, would tie us in the standings for the Cascadia Cup with Portland and Vancouver. I think they both have 6 points. So a win would be massive for that. A win would be massive for the playoff race. It would put us ahead of Portland. And I think we kind of have to take advantage of their poor run of form the last few weeks. I think they've lost 2 or 3 games in a row. So, yeah, I think we need to bury them early on the road.
For sure. And let's not forget how crazy it is. Just a few weeks ago when we were doing, our first, initial videos of the channel, we were talking about that long shot chance that the Sounders could get back into the playoff race. And here we are. Yeah,
since we started the channel, they've fired a coach. They all of a sudden started winning again. It's been kind of a crazy time in the world of the Seattle Sounders. It is pretty insane to see how different. This video is from our first. Everything feels a lot more positive now, to be completely honest.
It really does, and that was only what was that, a month ago? Just a little over a month ago.
Yeah. So, I'm expecting a lot of the same players we saw last Sunday. As you said, I'd like to see like a Herc come in or somebody to replace Dempsey. I wouldn't be surprised. A little early match prediction. I wouldn't be surprised with another goal fest, another like 3-3, 4-4 game. But I think we need to go for the 3 points because at this point, what do we have to lose? I really don't want to lose this game because then you go 4 points behind the Timbers and you're kind of back to where we started when Schmetz first took over.
Yeah, I wouldn't say back to where we started, but it definitely would be several steps backward from where we need to be. But yeah, no, I think you're right on that one. I think it's going to be, just one of those wild games like the old, I don't know how much of MLS you watched back in the day, but the old LA Galaxy, New York Red Bulls shootouts where they'd have like 6-4, 5-3 finishes. I think we may see something like that. I think everyone's just going to be going nuts out there. And defensively, both teams have looked a little shaky recently, the Timbers especially. So yeah, I think we may see quite the show on Sunday.
All right, so let's get down to it. Match predictions. What do you think?
I'm going to say 3-2, but I would not be surprised if it's 4-3, 5-3, 6-4, something just crazy like
Absolutely
that.
Bonkers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're going to get the 3 points, to be completely honest. I'm going to go with 4-2. I'm expecting a pretty big game from Jordan Morris. I know each week I feel like I keep saying that this is the game he's going to break out of his slump, but I think this is the game that he kind of announces himself into the Portland-Seattle rivalry with a couple goals, maybe a hat trick. Maybe
I'll be okay with that.
With Jordan Morris hat trick. So yeah, I'm gonna go with 4-2 Sounders. Brian goes with, what'd you say, like 4-3 officially?
3-2, I think, Sounders.
3-2.
That was for us, by the way, just to be clear.
Yeah, exactly. We're both predicting 3 points. It's gonna be a crazy game. It's gonna be a crazy time. All of you traveling down to Portland, be safe. Make sure you leave early. There's gonna be a lot of traffic I hear around Tacoma. So yeah, have fun with that, Brian.
Oh, I will. Thankfully I'm leaving from Tacoma, so I can kind of pop out the south end and maybe avoid some of it. But yeah, we'll see.
Well, safe travels to all the away fans heading down to Portland. Enjoy the match. Hopefully we speak to you after another huge 3 points for the Seattle Sounders. Thanks for watching EBFG TV. We will talk to you later.